Ayn Rand was born on February 2, 1905 in St. Petersburg, Russia. She was a Russian-American philosopher, novelist, playwright, and screenwriter. She moved to the U.S. in 1926, where she first achieved fame from her 1943 novel, The Fountainhead. In 1957, she published her novel Atlas Shrugged, where she promoted her philosophy. Formally, Rand called her philosophy Objectivism. Informally, she called it a philosophy for living on Earth. Ayn Rand's philosophy can be broken up into several parts. First, metaphysics, objective reality. In other words, wishing won't make it so. Rand's philosophy begins with 3 axioms. First, existence. Second, consciousness. And third, identity. Rand embraces the fact that existence exists. Reality is. While living on Earth, we must discover the nature of reality and learn how to act successfully in it. Consciousness is the faculty of perceiving that which exists. Rand advocates that one's mind does not create reality, but it is a means of discovering reality. Every act and every action is the action of an entity. The way entities act is caused by the identity of those entities. Every different entity acts differently because of their different identities. The second part of Rand's philosophy is epistemology. Reason. Rand tells us that reason is all we have and all we need for discovering the world around us. The essential advice of objectivism is to embrace reason as an absolute. In order to follow reason, Rand argues that one must reject emotions or faith as guides to life. Facts are facts, regardless of one's feelings. To follow reason, one cannot accept any contradictions. So, you can't eat your cake and have it too. Rand says that contradictions do not exist. Whenever you think you are facing a contradiction, check your premises. You'll find that one of them is wrong. The next point in objectivism is ethics, self-interest. This point brings up much controversy because it advocates selfishness. But by selfishness, it doesn't mean exploiting others. It means finding your highest potential and living up to it. It also means that in pursuing your own happiness, you respect others' rights to their own pursuit of happiness. Rand states that altruism is evil. Altruism is the practice of selfless concern for the well-being of others. Rand says that altruism does not mean benevolence and goodwill, but the opposite. The final point of Rand's philosophy is politics, capitalism. More specifically, laissez-faire capitalism. It is a system where man deals with one another not as victims and executioners, nor as masters and slaves, but as traders by free voluntary exchange to mutual benefit. and no man may initiate the use of physical force against others. And the government works as a policeman who protects man's rights. It is a system in which there's a complete separation of state and economics. Objectivism is a philosophy for living on Earth. Rand acknowledged Aristotle as her greatest influence. She said that in the history of philosophy, she could only recommend 3 A's: Aristotle, Aquinas, and Ayn Rand. When asked where her philosophy came from, she replied, "Out of my own mind, with the sole acknowledgement of a debt to Aristotle, the only philosopher who ever influenced me." However, scholars have found indications of influence from Friedrich Nietzsche in Rand's early notes. But by the time she wrote The Fountainhead, she had gone against Nietzsche's ideas. Rand held Immanuel Kant in particular disdain, whom she referred to as a monster. But some philosophers argue that she simply misinterpreted his ideas. Objectivism has been and continues to be a major influence on the libertarian movement, particularly in the United States. However, Rand and other objectivists have mixed views on libertarians. The Libertarian Party's first candidate for President of the United States, John Hospers, credited Rand as a major force in shaping his political beliefs. More recently, in a 2012 interview with Rolling Stone, President Barack Obama stated, "Ayn Rand is one of those things that a lot of us, when we were 17 or 18 and feeling misunderstood, we'd pick up." Although not a positive view on Ayn Rand's philosophy, it just shows how she had an influence on even modern thinking.